Hey you guys, so I am back with part 4, hopefully the final part in this whole Umar Johnson series. So when I first heard about the school, it was before the rant. It was actually before, I've been hearing about the scam, that the school was a scam, and people exposing him about the school, because that's really what this expose of Umar Johnson videos are about, mostly is the school. And when I first heard about the school and the amenities and what he was going to do with the school, what kind of school it was going to be, I was very excited. I was saying, well, this is only going to be for young boys, so I'm saying, okay, I can't go to this school. He said, okay, he was going to get the school for boys, and then eventually he was going to build a school for girls, and this was going to be like a residential school. This was going to have all the amenities. This was going to be a school that was, Pan-African, Afrocentric, independent school like he wanted. So, that all seemed really good. And this was when I was new to him. This was when I didn't really hear about how this was a scam. This is when I, just thought, okay, we just have to donate and he's going to buy a property, the St. Paul's College, which was a HBCU that got shut down. And I'm saying, okay, I can see this happening. I can see this go with what he's saying. I can actually see it. Now, he wanted $4 million. Then come to find out, he originally wanted $2 million, but then he raised his GoFundMe to $4 million. And like I said, I was new to him at this time, and I was just recently finding about the school. I was just recently finding out about the school. So with the school, with what he was saying, now I've come to believe that there was no school. There was never going to be any school. And even if there was, this man bit off a lot more than he can chew. Because even past supporters, even the people who've been supporting him for the longest time, those who even donated are like, okay, where's the school? So after the rant video, I saw people making videos, exposed videos about him not opening the school, basically questioning him like, where's the school? When is it going to be happening? And by this time, I still was new to him. I was still like sort of new to him, sort of, okay? Because this was in 2016. People were making these videos, or at least I was seeing these videos of people talking about where's the school. Lavon Cason on YouTube, he has made the video saying that Umar Johnson, where's the school for black boys? He showed this, the whole advertisement of Umar Johnson walking on the school campus saying, hey, I plan to buy this property, just donate $4 million because we need this school for the black boys. And then Lavon Cason's like, where's the school, Umar Johnson? Are you sure there's going to be a school? Where's the school that we need so much? Are you one of these Hotep hustlers? Like, where's the school? And at this point, I'm like, okay, guys, I checked his GoFundMe. At this time, he's only raised like $450K. So I'm thinking, okay, guys, he's only at $450K. He hasn't hit 4 million yet, not even close. Like, just keep donating and let him hit the goal, because he claims this cost $5 million. He claims this cost over $4 million. He hasn't hit the goal yet, so keep donating so he can hit the goal. You can't rush the process. Something as big as a school, or at least the school that he wants, is not gonna happen overnight. I just felt like, and in my mind, I was like, part of me was like, okay, we're just very impatient. We just want this to be an overnight thing. We claim this is not an overnight thing. Something like this is an overnight thing. But when it's not an overnight thing, we have a problem. So I'm just like, guys, unfortunately, I know I want the school bad too. Because with what he was saying the school was going to be, I was thinking, you know what, when I have kids, I'm going to send him, my children to his school. I was thinking, like, this is good for the black future. This is good for black liberation. This is good for us. You know what? This is going to be a good thing. I just hope it gets built in time so, I eventually can send my kids over there. All right? Then the rant video came out, and I was like, I'm so done. I cannot put this man in the presence of my kids. I cannot put my kids in the presence of this man with how he acts. And you know what I'm saying? So, more people are coming out. More people are digging in, like, deep to not only the school, but, they're digging into, like, the financial aspect of the school. Even a woman on Boyce Watkins' channel was like, well, what happened to Dr. Umar's school? Like, where was the business plan for the school? Where's the financial transparency for the school? You keep claiming that you're going to build a school, you're gonna buy this property. Yes, you haven't hit the goal yet. Because at this time, I thought, okay, GoFundMe is like Kickstarter, you know, until I figured out the differences. I figured GoFundMe was like Kickstarter, and, you know, with Kickstarter, you don't get the money until you hit the goal. You can't like dig in. But then I come to find out that with GoFundMe, you can dig in. You can take out a little bit of money every now and then. And of course, GoFundMe takes a little bit of a fee, but that's not as much as Umar was claiming that they took out. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, he hasn't hit the goal yet. I'm thinking, okay, he hasn't hit the goal yet. Relax. He can't be spending the money because, you know, GoFundMe is like Kickstarter. So he can't access the money until he's hit the goal. He hasn't hit the goal yet. Just be patient. And something as big as a school like he wants is not, you know, going to take overnight. So relax. Unfortunately, we had to just be patient. And then come to find out, yeah, GoFundMe, because I actually set up a GoFundMe for my business because, you know, I like I said, I was broke. I didn't have a job. I didn't have sufficient income to pay for the resources and supplies and materials. You know, I hand make things. So if you guys are interested in that, just leave a comment below. But I needed like materials and supplies for my business, you know, because I make physical products and I sell. So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, once I started doing my own GoFundMe, I find out that, oh wait, you're allowed to take some money out in the meantime while you're getting, even if you haven't hit the goal yet, you're allowed to take some money out. And I was like, okay, so now that's starting to sound suspicious. So maybe he is digging into the GoFundMe thing. And even he said on a Roland Martin show, by the time he was on the Roland Martin show, the amount went from $450K to $750K. And people have been accusing him of digging the money. And it's funny because months later after the Roland Martin show, I went back to his GoFundMe because I actually bookmarked his GoFundMe because I was eventually going to donate when I had the money. I looked back at his GoFundMe page and it went from $750K to $350K. Now, I'm not sure if there was a glitch in my computer or he actually did take some money out. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, okay, this looks suspicious because people are saying this is a fraud. You're a scam artist. And I'm saying either this man is a fraud or a bad businessman. Because, like, I mostly believe he's a fraud and a crook and he stole that money with no promises. And then, you know, he's like, the school's coming. And then part of me, the little bitty, itty bitty 1% of me believes you're just a bad businessman. Because you claim that at my school, we're going to have nuclear science classes. We're going to have, you know, we're going to learn agriculture. We're going to have natural hairstylists, which is funny because you were just messing with a stripper who had a blonde weave because you were like, no, we're gonna teach them about your natural hair. That's why we're gonna wear a uniform, and that's why we're gonna have only natural hair at my school. And it's like he was saying we're gonna have all this stuff because at the time I was all about the self-love. I don't perm my hair anymore. Okay, I stick to my natural hair, braids, and occasionally weaves, but I'm gonna stop trying to do that because the leave out doesn't work. But yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, this is a good thing. I mean, of course, the self-expression thing, of course, is a problem, but it teaches self-love. So I was for that. And, you know, he was claiming all this stuff that was going to happen with the school. And although I thought certain things were extreme, but I was like, you know what, if we just keep working together, it can happen. Because no one probably thought Black Wall Street could happen at the time that it did happen, and it was still rebuilt. You know, but even before they shot it down, no one thought that it could have happened, but it happened. So I'm thinking all the stuff that he wants with the school is going to happen. But looking back on it, and people said, even if you did build a school, which I don't believe he is, even if he did build a school, it wouldn't be reasonable, it wouldn't be feasible, and it wouldn't be financially, you know, it wouldn't be financially reasonable. He would be way in over his head financially because not only would you need the money to get the building that you claim to want for the school, but you're going to need a lot more money to build it up. People in the financial aspect, trust me, some people are like, you Black folks made all these videos acting as if you're your own private investigators. You know, Paris Milan pointed this out and I can't stand her. You know, she was out here caping for Umar Johnson after the Roland Martin thing saying, oh God, why are you getting on this man? you know, he's trying to build a school, and I'm going to get into her a little bit later. But for now, yeah, people were going really digging in deep about this financial thing. They're saying, okay, well, if it's going to be a residential school, then parents are going to have to pay money in tuition. And that tuition is probably going to cost even more than what we're paying if we're already sending our children to certain private schools. It's going to cost a lot. He basically was just overselling the school. Let's just say that. He was overselling the school. So B Code, actually, she calls herself B with a B Code, but it's B Code on YouTube. She said that, you know, the school wouldn't be reasonable because the amenities you're going to put in there cost money, even just the basic necessities like toilet paper, because I've lived on a college campus, and he's trying to buy a college campus. So he claimed he was trying to buy a college campus and make it a residential schools for boys and then girls. Okay? And they're going to be dorms and everything. So you basically want it to be like a boarding school. And I've been to college, so yeah, you're going to need basic necessities. Is there going to be a meal plan? Is there going to be a toilet paper to stock each and every single bathroom, even in the dorms? Is there going to be beds for them? And you could say like maybe the school that he said he was going to get will probably have that, but still there's going to be an upkeeping of the school, and people are probably going to have to pay a lot in tuition for that. Here's where people are saying you're really a fraud, because there's so many ways in which you can go at the school reasonably that you just choose not to go to. There was one video where a man on Black Anonymous page that said Umar was lying because there were so many schools in Detroit. He even said it. Umar even said it in Hidden Colors. They're shutting down our schools left and right. Phil at the Advice Show said, yeah, they're shutting down our schools left and right. You have more than enough money to buy up these properties, or at least put a down payment, because I've read a couple of real estate books and stuff like that. Okay, you can actually put a down payment for a school. You don't have to put down the full price, because people are saying, hey, their school shut down in Detroit left and right, their school shut down in Chicago left and right, there are schools that are being shut down that actually don't even cost half the amount of money that you've raised. So you can actually buy a couple of these schools now. But here's his excuse. Oh, I don't want any government involvement because, you know, the whole COINTELPRO thing, and he'll have you believe in. And I'm saying, look, you may not want the government involvement, but chances are you're going to have to get some government involvement. He said that he didn't want to get loans. There was a woman who offered him $1 million loan and he turned it down. Now, granted, I wouldn't take a loan. People even said, why can't you get a loan from the bank? Now, granted, we have issues getting loans from the bank, and I would avoid a loan at any cost because that's something you have to pay back. God forbid you take a loan, can't pay it back. The project is ruined. So I would avoid a loan, okay? But at the end of the day, even if you bought this property, you're going to have to go through some legal form of paperwork. You're going to have to go through some form of government paperwork. You're going to maybe try to get like a 501c3 or something like that. You're going to have to do some form of paperwork that is connected to the government in some way, shape, or form. But he's like, I don't want any government involvement because, you know, I don't want them to know what we're doing. Well, they don't necessarily have to know what you're doing. Just do what you're doing and do it well. But you're on YouTube preaching about what you're going to do. You know, I'm sorry. You can't really hide from the government. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you just can't really hide from them, even if you claim I don't want this. And if you say that you want it to be away from any government involvement, I'm sorry, you're either going to have to go off the grid or to another country. And he claimed that, yeah, I'm probably going to go to Africa and get, you know, a school in Africa, because that's really what the rich people do. They get schools in Africa. You know, and that's good if he wanted to, but it sounds pretty weird. It sounds something very familiar that happened before in history. People saying we're done with this country, we're going to move to another country and build a new society. I'm going to let you guys figure out what I'm talking about because I saw the documentaries. Okay? And he basically says, I don't want any government involvement, but B Code actually broke it down and said, well, you claim that you want to take in those foster and homeless black children. How are you going to do that? Because there's going to be some government involvement probably, because are you going to be the legal guardian to these people? Are you going to, you know, take ownership and legal guardianship of them? Is there going to be somebody else? And even if there's going to be some governmental paperwork in some way, shape, or form, unfortunately, you can't really ignore it. And knowing how you are, how you say that the government, especially this racist white government, is after you or is tries to stop everything we do with the COINTELPRO thing, then I'm sorry, but with what you say, your rhetoric, if you were to do this without government involvement, they will find a way to shut you down. And let's be honest, even if it wasn't financially reasonable, this school will definitely be socially unreasonable, because you have made very disparaging remarks and very discriminating remarks against certain people. You have said that if people are in any form of relationship with a white person, that they could not work at your school. If anyone was in an interracial relationship or had, or co-parenting with a white person, they could not work at your school, which is very ironic a little bit, because you said the biracials could come to your school, which is very ironic because you claim the biracials as black, even though a lot of hoteps or some of these angry black Negro black folks, especially the women, are like, stop claiming the biracials as black. But some of them follow you and like you, and you've said, oh yeah, the biracials are just as African as we are. And I find it funny, how are you caping so much for biracials? And then you called Seti, saying he looks like the so-called cracker. You said he looked like a cracker every time he looks in the mirror, but he's a full black man. He just happens to be light-skinned. So I find it funny. Something tells me, tell me if I'm wrong, but I heard he has like 2-3 kids out of wedlock. Maybe one of them is biracial. Because I find it funny how you're caping for the biracials, but you were just angry at the light-skinned person. That kind of is oxymoronic and very ironic to me, okay? I find it funny how you said the parents can't work at the school, but the children can come to the school. The kids can come to the school. And another thing, too, he said, which is one of the reasons I backed away from him, too. He has said that if you are LGBTQ, you cannot work at the school. And I find that funny because the LGBTQ black folks and the women, the black women, us black women and black LGBTQ folks, we're the ones out there speaking out loud and proud, and we're the front and center ones. We're the front liners at Black Lives Matter marches. But a lot of you hoteps, you dusty hoteps, do not show up for us. And you don't want us in your movement. I'm not saying we have to be the face or the voice, but let's be real. You want us speaking up. You want us having your back. You want us, because believe it or not, some of us are actually fighting harder against white supremacy than some of you black men out here. Some of you black hoteps out here. I'm sorry. All you're doing is talking and being angry, but we're actually starting movements. You would not have a Black Lives Matter movement had it not been for 3 LGBTQ black women. 3 queer black women started that. Find it funny. They can't join your movement. They can't join your school. And guess what? As racist and discriminatory and as against the black man as you claim the government is or people are, they would shut down your school in a heartbeat because of that, LGBTQ and anti-black discrimination. You can't discriminate on race. You can say other companies do it, but most of them are not out on the internet saying that. So this is why your school wouldn't be reasonable even if you opened it up. Because you have been on the internet saying LGBTQs and people in interracial relationships cannot join your school, cannot work at your school. All they need is that. Even if it's not financially reasonable, it's not socially reasonable. Now, I actually want to talk about Paris Milan. I do not want to name drop her, but I have to talk about her. She actually made a video right after the Roland Martin show about how Umar Johnson was trying to build a school. And I could tell she was probably new to him. So she basically goes off and she basically says, so I just saw the Roland Martin interview and I see people on the internet just calling him a fraud and things like that. So I just want to say, it's funny how you guys are all over this man, talking about how he's a fraud and a scam artist. And you know what? It seems like every black person were their own private investigators and private eyes, and you found all this stuff going in on him. But you didn't find out about the Keaton Jones situation. Remember that? You guys donated so quick. Even black celebrities donated so quick. But guess what? The difference between Umar Johnson and the Keaton Jones situation, yes, a bunch of black people donated real fast. Yes, a bunch of black celebrities donated real fast, which I was very disappointed in when we found out the truth, and we found out his parents were a bunch of white supremacists. But guess what? We pretty much found that out quick. We found that out very, very quick, and they shut down the account, and they didn't even raise half the amount that Umar has raised in almost 10 years. I thought this school situation was only happening 2-3 years because I was new to him. But this has been going on since '09. Lenon Honor made a 3-hour video and a 2-hour video about that. So I'm going to try to put that down in the description box as well, okay? Yeah, this has been going on since 10 years. But here comes Paris Milan like, oh my God, look how we were so quick to give our money to white supremacists. But yeah, and that is something valid. That is something that needs to be talked about. But again, like Umar, using truth as a deflection. Clearly, this girl was either new to him and did not know anything about this man for a long time. She probably did not know anything that this man was having this scam for a long time. I actually recently found out that this scam was going on for almost 10 years. I did not know it was happening since '09. And he actually announced a school opening in 2013. September 11, 2013, we're going to have this school. Oh, and he also lied on the Roland Martin show. He claimed that the St. Paul's College was sold. At the time that he said it, the school has not been sold. Even Terrance Bailey came out and said, yeah, it was never sold. It was never going to be a school. It was a scam from the start. The school has not been sold. The school was not broken up because Umar claimed that the school was broken up and that if they sold the student center, he didn't want the school anymore. Terrance Bailey came out and said, oh yeah, the school was not broken up. It was not under contract. It was not even sold. And I looked it up and I did not see any information that the school was sold. The school was not sold at the time that Umar said it was sold, but it was sold early December of 2017. So early December 2017, that's when I found out it was sold. But at the time he was saying that it was sold, it wasn't. Okay? But here goes Paris Milan saying, oh, this man is trying to build a school. Why are you guys so on it? I'm like, clearly you're new to him and you don't understand. And I don't really like too much of her page. I don't really like it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I really don't. At first I didn't like Chrissy, but now I love Chrissy. I haven't subscribed yet, but you know, that's just me name dropping, okay? But anyway, I can't stand that Paris Milan girl. Now she's in a scandal with Boyce Watkins, and that's a whole entire different video, but whatever. I just can't stand her. I don't know. The way she was caping for Umar, the way it seems like her whole platform, especially is to go off on people in interracial relationships. It really seems that's what her page is about. She's like exposing white people and white supremacy and stuff. And you know what? I get it. But honestly, it seems like you probably have no life outside of this. It's like, you know, I just can't stand her. I just can't. I watched a few of her videos and yes, they hold validity, but I just can't stand her page, all right? Anyway, yes, so she basically goes off and was caping for him, and this was before she deleted this video. She deleted the video because she probably realized Umar was a fraud, and she looked stupid for actually trying to cape for him, but she deleted the video. Wonder why, you know? Like a lot of black folks I noticed, they can't take, you know, any form of like humility. Some of us can't take any form of humility and we're too embarrassed to realize we were wrong. And instead of apologizing and saying I was wrong, you rather just take an L. Or at least not even try to take an L, deflect from taking an L. So anyway, yeah. So actually I have a lot more to say about this school. I actually don't believe it's coming, and if it's coming, it's not going to be this grand thing that he's saying, because another thing that made me believe that he was a fraud and a crook was he keeps moving the dates. He keeps moving the goalposts. I did not know he was coming out with a school until Lenon Honor told me that there was supposed to be an opening in 2013. I actually thought, okay, let's just wait till he hits the goal, buys up the school. He didn't buy the school. Okay, people are saying that you have so many other properties that you can buy. Oh, I don't want government involvement because, you know, the COINTELPRO and all that stuff like that, when really it does not seem like he's serious. You are either a fraud, which most of me believes, or you're just a bad businessman. So anyway, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is what I have to say about the school thing. Tell me your opinions. Tell me your thoughts on this school. I believe at this point it's a scam. It's a fraud. And if you just believe that he's either a fraud or a bad businessman. So thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and, you know, hit that notification bell. And I will see you in the next video.